is a speech about America's dependence on foreign oil. Oil is the blood that brings life to America. Without it, the economy would fail. To ensure America stays a prosperous country, it must control its oil demand with its own natural resources, and not by importing from other countries. I have done in-depth research on the production and consumption of oil in America, and if a crisis strikes America, almost every citizen will be affected by the price in food, gas, flights, and all petroleum products because they're all made of oil. America has one of the highest consumption rates in the world. It must produce its own oil to ensure stability. A shortage of oil could lead to an economic downturn. A few questions you might have are, how did America go from a major exporter of oil to a major importer of oil? And why should America be self-sustainable with its own oil production? And what is the solution to make America a more self-sustaining country by producing their own oil? All of these will be explained shortly. America was not always a dependent country on imported oil. In fact, during 1949, America was producing and consuming oil at an equal level. However, it all changed in 1971, according to Forbes.com. America reached its peak in oil production, producing about 12 million barrels a day. This level of production drops slowly over the next 25 years, and it takes America 40 years to exceed 12 million again. So you can see it goes up to here, and then we don't reach that until we get to about right here. Is that right? No. The production is here, and we don't reach that until all the way until around 2010. Once the war was what led to the increase in consumption and the decrease in production. In World War II, America's oil and gas consumption increased immensely for planes, tanks, boats, and automobiles. Once the war was over, the automobile industry took the nation by storm. Oil was extremely cheap, and having low miles per gallon was not an issue until it was. In 1973, Arab states cut off America's oil supply after helping Israel. This oil shortage showed that America's economy was too dependent on oil imports from other countries. And after the crisis in 1973, America has been working toward being more oil dependent. Now there are offshore drilling sites, fracking areas to collect crude oil, along with organizations to bring awareness to Americans so that we can decrease consumption. As you can see, consumption dropped, and then it's slowly rising because of population, and then the production is finally rising after 1973, which was here. It rose a little bit, dropped back down, then went back up. America should be a country that can supply its own oil. Any country that has a consistently dependent on another country for their imports has power over that country to some extent. With a major shortage of oil, the military couldn't even protect our country properly. So increasing oil mining in America will boost our production. The oil rigs will create infrastructure and jobs that will help the economy. Decreasing America's consumption of oil is the only way to reach an equal amount of consumption and production. Many Americans have already started to do this by buying smaller cars, electric cars, and hybrid cars. America has been more self-sustaining oil-producing country if Americans and companies reduce consumption and increase production. America is expected to be an oil-independent country by 2021. This is a result from increased production and the use of more alternative energy sources, such as solar panels and wind turbines. These alternative energy sources are a way of the future, but still need a lot of perfecting. If all Americans use less oil for their gas or for the car, the prices will fall, creating less of a demand for oil with an increase with increasing the supply, it will lower the price. Once America's consumption is lower than its production, America will once again be a major exporter of oil instead of being an importer, and this will increase America's GDP. An easy way for Americans to use less oil is to drive less and save energy. Many energy plants are fueled by fossil fuels, so turning off a light when you leave a room will reduce oil consumption, or just turning off your car while you're driving will reduce gas, which also reduces oil consumption. America went through a lot of things going. America went from a major exporter of oil to a major importer of oil due to the price because of supply. America will be a self-sustaining country with an equal amount of production and consumption by 2021, according to CNBC. And the solution to make America a more self-sustaining country is for everyone to try to use less energy and oil. America is one of the highest consumption rates in the world for oil consumption and must produce its own oil to ensure stability. Thankfully, America is projected to hit that goal in 2021. Ask yourself, what is a small sacrifice that you can do to reduce your oil consumption? If Americans strive for America to be an oil-independent country, history will not repeat itself.